Welcome to the FWOT Show on the Coil Entertainment Network. I'm Rob Steele, that's Jesus Jones in the background, and I found more idiots to expose. Let's start with the U.S. government, who I'm going to consider just one big idiot at this point. And no, I'm not jumping straight into Trump directly. Who would want to? I don't even think Melania wants to do that anymore. I'm going to start with Reality Winner because, well, first off, who the hell names their kid Reality Winner? I'm just saying, that's a horrible name. Anyway, she's the contractor who worked for the National Security Agency who broke the law by exposing this whole Russian hacking the U.S. voting system thing. Yeah, they say that it's illegal for her to give away this secret report to the public because it's top secret. I'm sorry. No. I consider this like a non-disclosure agreement, where you're not allowed to disclose anything that goes on at a particular business unless it's illegal. Then you can expose it because it's illegal. I get that. That makes sense. And that is exactly what she did. They just gave it a different name and threw her in jail. The U.S. Attorney Jennifer Solari says that Reality Winner blatantly violated the trust put in her by the United States. Well, didn't the United States blatantly violate the trust we put in them? Didn't they? Think about it. Who violated who first? And speaking of violations, I'm indirectly going to get to Donald Trump on this through John McCain. Now, I did not agree with John McCain on a lot of stuff. And let's face it, he's the one who made Sarah Palin nationally famous. But I didn't want him dead. He did some good stuff. He really did. It just threw me off that less than 12 hours after me reading about him taking himself off his cancer meds, bam, he died. I mean, I didn't want that. I really didn't. I think it's a very sad thing. I mean, he'd even come around on Trump, trying to remove Trump from office. Better late than never. And now he's just late. That's a horrible way of phrasing it, but there it is. Some people, however, had an issue with the timing of the whole thing. And I do not get this in the slightest. Most of it comes from Representative-to-be, allegedly, Martha McSally, who has two first names and a Mick in the middle that she got at McDonald's. That would be my guess. Anyway, the Arizona primaries are coming up. And she has gone on record as saying the timing of John McCain's death is horrible because it's taking the attention away from her. It was inconsiderate of him to die at this time. Martha, f*** you. Seriously. An American hero died, and oh, it's bad timing for me. Fuck you, Martha McSally. Martha McSally was, of course, not the only one to respond. DJ Trump, and that's going to be my new name for him for a while, because Adolf Twitler seemed to confuse people. DJ Trump didn't actually say anything at first. He tweeted about it, because that's what our alleged president does. He tweets. He tweeted something about, oh, my sympathies go out to the family. And I love how millions of people, and I'm not making that number up, it really is millions of people, told him to fuck off with his obviously fake sympathies. But even some of his supporters are tweeting, you're sending sympathies? I thought we didn't like soldiers who were captured. Really? So they're turning on him because of his Wow, really? But the best response I heard came from another tweet, and I'll quote. And the quote is actually coming from somewhere I wasn't expecting. Give me a minute. Here's the quote. Shut the fuck up. You think we're ever going to forget how you mocked him for the 5+ years he spent tortured as a POW? Fuck you and your phony sympathy. Hashtag bone spurs. Now, first off, that does sound like something I would write, but it wasn't me. Where did it come from? That quote came from TV nice guy Drew Carey. That's right, the guy from the Drew Carey Show. You'd get that from the same name. And the Price is Right host. So remember, spay and neuter your pets and fuck Trump. By the way, 2 more things that go just specifically with this. 1, the White House flag was still at full mast at Trump's order until very late yesterday. And 2, McCain said that he wanted eulogies from G.W. Bush and Barack Obama and wanted to make absolutely sure that Donald J. Trump was banned from his funeral. Wow. Banned from a funeral of an American hero. This is our president? Really? Are you sure? I mean, he also did a couple other things this week that just made me go, wow. I mean, he said, here's a quote, "If I ever got impeached, I think the market would crash. Dear Donnie, it's in the process of crashing anyway. Have you not been paying attention? I'm going to recommend that you hurry up so we can get our way out of this situation." But that's not his worst thing this week. It's not. And this makes me smile because it is so utterly pathetic. And yes, I've checked it from a number of different sources. DJ Trump visited the Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus, Ohio, where he sat down with a number of ill children to color. Now, we've said before, a lot of people shouldn't trust Donald Trump with anything beyond coloring with crayons. Well, we can't do that anymore either because, well, he sat down to color an American flag with the kids, and he did it wrong. The first stripe he colored, he got right. It was red. Very good. The next 2, he did nothing. The next 2 stripes were white. The third stripe, he colored blue. 4 stripes. Got 1 right, did nothing to 2, got 1 of them wrong. That kind of sums up his presidency, except for the whole got 1 of them right things. Look this up. It's pathetic. It just goes along with the Washington Post, whose fact checkers gave Donald Trump 4 Pinocchios. Admittedly, I don't know the scale here, but 4 Pinocchios can't be good. And even Fox News is turning on him. Seriously. Neil Cavoto, whose name I'm probably mispronouncing, but he works for Fox, so I don't care. Shep Smith and Brett Baer, all of Fox News, called Donald Trump a liar on the air on Fox News this week. Check around the net. It's out there. You'll hear it. News from the Me Too movement that is good and bad and indifferent, and at this point, I don't care that much. It comes from Italian actress Asia Argento, which sounds like a Chinese noodle dish that has marinara sauce on it. I'm just saying. I digress. She's an Italian actress who allegedly sexually assaulted a young actor and musician named Jimmy Bennett when he was 17. What this sounds a hell of a lot like is a fan got really lucky with an actress and now not only gets to have sex with her, but has decided to sue. Really. I mean, the whole reason this is actually getting any kind of publicity is because of Asia Argento's late boyfriend, Anthony Bourdain, and frankly, I'm still not sure who he was. And he's dead now, so I don't care either. But the whole thing sounded just wrong, and this came out shortly after she accused Harvey Weinstein of raping her. Now someone's accusing her of raping someone else, and the whole thing has just gotten convoluted. And then the pictures came out, which showed her and Jimmy Bennett in a bed, suggesting a non-clothed situation. You know what? I'm afraid I can't bring myself to say anything else about this other than, dude, you got lucky. Shut up. In news that'll make PETA happy, I guess, it came out this week that Barnum's animal crackers are changing their box. You remember Barnum's animal crackers? They used to come in that little cardboard box with a little cardboard handle, and on the side it would show the pictures of the animals that were turned into crackers and that are inside the box, except on the outside of the box in the pictures they're all caged like they would be in a circus. Now they're running free on the side of the box because PETA finally won a court case, I guess. You know what? I don't care. I've become so apathetic to just about everything on this show now. The animals on the side of the animal cracker box are now free. I expect at any moment PETA to consider it a win that animal crackers are now all shaped like Oreos. Until, the Oreo protesters show up. Then we've got a whole new story. So since the last show, an illegal immigrant killed a white woman. Therefore, the Republicans are having their cow and saying the wall must be built immediately. We've got to keep these people out of the country. How dare they come in the country and kill our people? Okay, in the history of ever, the number of illegal immigrants that have killed people in the States is so unbelievably small. This is the first one that we've heard since this whole wall thing came up. However, that's not my point. My point is, what happened to the whole we don't politicize the event when it's fresh thing we get when some asshole shoots up a school? Isn't this the same kind of thing? Only this time it's one white woman died. Which, tragedy? Sure. We're up to 800 kids who have died? But we can't do anything about that. Really? Are you sure? If you have any comments or questions on that, contact me through the website, thefwotshow.com, where there's buttons for Facebook and Twitter. Like the show on Facebook. It makes everything work better. Don't forget to subscribe to the show while you're on the site. There's buttons for iTunes and the Google Play Store and YouTube. And I haven't made one for Spotify, but if you're listening to me that way, subscribe there too. Just because it's fun. And you know what? While you're on the FWOT Show website, go ahead and click that little basket at the top. It takes you to the FWOT shop where you can get a t-shirt or a hat or a coffee mug. And no one said anything about the cutting board, so I'm not getting them. So there. But I am going to leave you with something that at least vaguely resembles good news. You remember last week in the show where I talked about Randolph County in Georgia, where they were going to close 7 of the 9 precincts because they were mostly black, and if black people vote, then we might get a good representation of the country or some shit, that kind of thing. Well, it turns out that's not gonna happen. They all get to vote. What a spectacular concept, people getting the opportunity to vote. Now, if we can just get rid of the Electoral College so the votes will count, even better. Until then, we're stuck with what we've got now. Oh well, not much I can do about that, except tell you to tune in to the Cinema Savants Review Show. It's coming up this Friday, or even the 12th Man Rising Seattle Seahawks show, which is Thursday, provided Lee shows up. That's a Cinema Savants joke, and if you don't get it, you're not listening to the show, and you should be. Go to the website coil.us, that's the Coil Entertainment Network site. Check out the other shows, they're fun. It'll give you something to do. Until next time, and until then, have a good week. Yes, even you too, Republicans.